KDGL Radio, where jazz rocks.
KDGL. How y'all doing tonight?
Hello, 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 hello. Dorian Gray here, and right here in the heart of Sunnyside, Houston, Texas. Been here many years. It's good to be back. But I'm actually about to do a concert. It's called the Say It Now concert, gospel concert. Say It Now is a theme I came up with. What it's referring to is basically the things that you ought to say to people before it's too late. And that idea came up way before the concert did. I was out and about, and I think I was reading the Bible one day, and I got to a point where I was reading something about, giving back to people and inspiring them to do good things. There's a scripture that came up later, Hebrews 10:24, to consider how to spur one another on towards love and good deeds. So I started practicing that, trying to fulfill it, and it even got to a point where I had to pray, because there was one particular family that I wanted to thank for what they did for me like decades ago. And I hadn't seen them in years. So it's like, where are they? So I prayed about it. Next thing you know, shortly after that, I ran into one of them in the store. And I got an opportunity to tell them, not just to thank them, but also let them know, hey, listen, I tracked you down. I prayed. And I had to, this is what I'm trying to do. Now, it's so important to thank you. And look at the value of what you did. It saved me from a lot of trouble. It saved my family from a lot of trouble. And that's why it means so much for me to go through these hoops, to find you, Now, unfortunately, the spouse of this person had already passed. And thus, that's where the idea of say it now comes from. That's what it's about. To say it now before it's too late. Because it really hurt me that I couldn't say that to both of them. They both deserve to hear that, And that's where the concert came up. I was thinking about other people. I was trying to find other people. It's like, wow, I should thank this person, that person. And then I realized, wait a minute. The person that inspired me to play saxophone, Bernard Johnson, that's huge. It's huge because playing the saxophone is fun. Playing music and all that. But it's way more than that. Because when I ran into him, I started imitating more than just playing the saxophone. I started imitating what he was doing. When I'd see him at concerts and when I'd hear what he said on those records and stuff, I started imitating that, trying to minister to people, trying to help them to have a relationship with God. And it became more and more important to me. So that even now, when that happened, that was back in the 70s, probably 80, 81 maybe, when I was first introduced to him. And all these years later, look at what I'm doing. I'm throwing a gospel concert to thank God and to thank people in my life. And I came up with a theme. I've never done this before. I just came up with an idea because of having a quiet time in the Bible, to try to fulfill Scripture. And that's why it's important that he's on that list to thank too, Bernard, because of how he inspired me as a little kid, And there's other things too. There's people I want to talk to and apologize to because, there's some mistakes I've made, Some mistakes I've made that I know that and who knows, if you go back and apologize to someone and thank them for something, how God is going to be able to use that, That's amazing. I know how it felt when I did it. One time when somebody had to come back and apologize to me. I remember what that felt like. And so that's the value I'd like to impart to everybody. But I was more thinking about, even particularly, this video may make it around the world, because I'm about to ask for some money, And you on the other side of the world may be thinking, well, I don't have nothing to do with gospel music. I don't really necessarily believe in God. Why would I give you money? Well, it's because of the value of what I'm saying. I'm sure there are people in your life that have done something good for you that you can go back and thank. You may not have thought about that. And trust me, if you do that, not only might you do something that makes somebody's day and do something that causes them to, Okay, video keeps stopping. Okay, so anyway, what I was trying to say is that you never know. I'm sure that people that you've run into that have done some great things for you, And if you go back and thank them for it, I know that's going to have some great impact. It's going to have some great impact. But also for you, it's going to do something really good for you. You'll feel really good about it. So that would be the value that I can impart to you, as a reason to give to something you may not be familiar with. But those of you who are familiar with it, I welcome your pledges and contributions. I came up with a handle for Cash App, and it's the deposit closet. Taking out the spaces, no spaces between the letters, just the deposit closet. You can make a deposit. You can make a what's called a contribution to that donation. And also I designed a logo for some T-shirts and hopefully caps too that you can get. And I'll put that in the video so you can see what it looks like. I think it's pretty nice. I did that myself. I'm not professional at it, but I think it looks okay. But just something to give back. Hopefully you will make a donation. Hopefully you'll be able to purchase some merchandise to help fund the venue and also the musicians that are actually volunteering at this point. I really appreciate them, but I want to do something for them, so that especially all of them really. But listen, thank you so much. Thank you for checking out my little video here, and hopefully you can come to the concert, and if you can't, hopefully you can give to it and support some good and a little bit of love that's being spread right here in Sunnyside, Houston, Texas. All right, ciao for now.